You're kidding, right? That's a no-go. I like that story. However, going on, we don't have time for it. Hey everybody, I'm Lori Dhue in the newsroom with the fabulous news crew, minus Sally, who was on a tiny island in the Bahamas on vacation. I was also on vacation this week.
Yes, you were.
In Arizona, not
Nice
quite
tan.
as exotic as the Bahamas, but yeah, I got a little tan.
Yeah.
Anyway, good to be here. A lot of stories we didn't get to this week. First off, this interesting poll. Nationwide marijuana legalization seems to be inevitable for 75% of people polled. This is the first time this question had ever been asked. Do you think it's okay? And do you think marijuana legalization will happen? Just 16% of people polled said it should not be legal at all. I think our society's views on marijuana and marijuana legalization are changing very much so.
Absolutely.
We've already seen this happening in 2 states, Colorado and Washington. I think the rest of the states are literally going to fall like dominoes. Yeah. I also think that reducing sentencing for people who get jail time for having a dang bag of pot is a really good idea. We have too many people in our jails clogging the prison system, being locked up for small pot charges. I mean, I don't think we can incarcerate our way out of this situation. Got to free up the time and the money in the jail space. So
Well said.
I will say one more thing, though, that saying that you don't want people to serve prison time for having a dime bag of pot is not the same as saying, I want a pot shop in my neighborhood. So I want to point that out, but I think there's a real cultural shift here.
It's a discussion that everyone is having, and it's a good thing that we're actually having it.
Yes.
People were scared to talk about it 10 years ago.
I know. And
Or at
now,
least come out in favor of legalization or decriminalization.
yeah, I mean, the bottom line is it's a lot of people feel like it should not be a criminal act. And we'll see what happens with the states.
Rick?
What you got?
Well, my story, we were actually going to cover, and then it kind of got bumped for breaking news. But Amazon has released their version of Apple TV and Roku, and it is called Fire TV, and it's going for $99. And it basically has the exact same features in a sense as Apple TV. You can use your apps, access, but their main feature is gaming, and you can actually get an Amazon controller. So I think that's kind of what they're trying to do to set it apart.
Yeah.
But,
And there's a voice search on it too, which
Yes.
is neat. But I do recommend everyone stick with Roku until the Amazon or Apple TV carries the Blaze app.
Exactly. Well said. The boss did not even tell him to say that.
I loved this week
30 seconds.
this one story that was in Indiana, in Waldron, Indiana, and this 91-year-old veteran, his house, all of a sudden we had these aerial video coming in, and it was this FBI, it looked like a raid, we didn't know what it was, but there are tents, we're showing the video right now.
Mike followed the story the
This
entire day.
91-year-old former teacher, a veteran, worked on the Manhattan Project, had a massive collection of artifacts from all around the world. He is cooperating with the FBI, but somehow they were tipped off to this massive collection, and it's for some reason just fascinating. And he's absolutely cooperating. He's being very cool. He seems to be just a history buff and took as good of care of this stuff as he possibly could.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the good part of this. He wasn't trashing the stuff, and he wasn't just some teenager like, yeah, I got all this cool stuff in my basement.
Yeah, and theblaze.com covered that, and there actually was a really good interview with a neighbor, so you should check it out on theblaze.com.
You should check out theblaze.com anyway. All the time.
Obviously.
So
Anyway,
that's what we didn't do.
That's what we WWDD. Yep. See you next week.
Bye.